This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Number one best-selling author Ken Coleman is my co-host today. Ramsey personality sitting along my side here. He is host of the Ken Coleman Show, where they talk about careers and purpose and jobs and getting one, a purpose and a job. And how about mixing them together? That'd be a good idea. Well, he can help you with all of that. So you got questions about jobs and careers in this crazy world we live in right now? Well, we're here to help. You got questions about life and money? We're here to help. The phone number is 888-825-5225. You know, Ken, our ratings on the show have gone up substantially during these wacky times because and I have a theory on this. Have you noticed that the world has gone nuts?
Yes.
Lost their minds out there. What is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just it's a thing. And so, and like we're still sane and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, like we believe in like the truth and the law of gravity still will cause you to hit the sidewalk when you jump off a building and stuff like that. There are some things you can believe in that are true and safe and calm, and kindness does matter, not just anger.
And our pulse rate hasn't changed. So people are like, why? How come they're not scared over there at Ramsey Solutions?
How come they're not lost their minds? Because we actually believe in solid things and teach solid things. And so the great news about the stuff we teach here, whether it's in the career area, the mental health area, the marriage area, the money area certainly is, it works in crazy times and it works in regular times. Mm-hmm. And so I guess everybody went, you know, I need some calmness in my life. I need some stability in my life. I need an anchor that is based on actual facts, not people just making up crap, which seems to be a thing. Like, you know, the old joke was 88% of the statistics are made up on the spot, right? And so
I think it's 98%.
But it's like right now, 88% of the science is made up on the spot. So,
oh, geez, there you went and did it, Dave.
I did it. I went there, didn't I?
He just did it.
I did it. So, but I mean, it's just, and people are lost their dadgum ever-loving minds.
Yeah.
And you know, we could have said this exact same little rant right here about 18 months ago, and we've still been accurate. But right now, it's just we have the second wave of crazy coming through. We went through the pandemic, and now we're going through the economic tsunami that is the delayed. You know, where does a tsunami come from? An earthquake way out in the ocean. So the pandemic was the earthquake way out in the ocean. Now we've got supply chain, labor shortages, product shortages, hyperinflation, you know, stinking. Have you noticed the price of your gasoline going into your car?
$5 a gallon today in New York. $5 a gallon. And I saw another headline that's...
And they don't even drive there.
No, they don't. They don't. You know, it's interesting. What we talk about here at Ramsey Solutions, whatever category that you just listed out, the reality is that when you've got discipline, when you've got a plan, when the crazy times hit, and they will, you don't have to go crazy. But everybody else is going crazy because they weren't ready for it. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get out of it. And you're right. It is a very interesting time right now where there are some people, Dave, that are trying to elongate the panic.
I got my existential crisis out of the way about 30 years ago, so I kind of got that one in my rearview mirror. I went ahead and had my midlife crisis early.
Right.
And so I was always an overachiever. So
you raised the bar so high.
It's just like I was 27 years old, so I mean, I went broke, lost everything. The kids, you know, I couldn't feed the kids, and I lost my mind, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And so that's all kind of back there ways. And so I'm kind of like, some of this other stuff hits, I just yawn now. I'm like, oh, is that all it is?
Here's something I've never asked you on the show, and I want to ask you because it's really relevant. Do you notice a difference between the headlines and what you see every day? We travel the country still. We live here in Tennessee. I just see a huge disparity between what we're being told is going on versus what I see every day. Do you sense that?
Well, I've been in 5 states in 15 days. just recently. I mean, in the last 15 days, I've been traveling. We were doing stuff with radio. I was doing stuff with when I spoke at Liberty University, and so, I'm sad to say that both sides of the media, because there's not like a media anymore. There's the right media and the left media, and they both lie all the time. If it bleeds, it leads. And so the right-hand media is telling you that, that if you go to California, it's all shut down and the governor is whatever, and the whole thing. I went out to Orange County and it was like nothing going on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Walking around normal. And I went to restaurants and a couple of the servers had masks on, but I mean, it was about like it is here in Nashville, and fewer rednecks, but I mean, it's just, but it was just, I mean, it was like I expected, based on the news media, to think I was going to Russia.
Right.
The right-hand news media. And of course, the left-hand news media would have you believe that we're all going to die tomorrow. And so you might as well get, whatever living you have left out of the way, because Friday's coming. And so, but I mean, and I don't see that out there either.
That's my point.
I quit watching them. And a lot of them are friends of mine.
That's good.
And I just had to turn them off, because as my old friend Zig Ziglar used to say, he said, I get up every morning and read the Bible, read the newspaper, so I can tell what both sides are doing. And so,
that's so good. Classic Zig.
Classic Zig line.
But he's right. It's like if you took a week off.
Inputs will screw up your mind. Yeah. And you join the crazy. You join the fray.
Right.
I got a friend of mine watching CNN and Fox. Right. We're going to have to put the boy in a rubber room. He's going to lose it. It's just going to, well, his brain is draining out of his ears.
So what you watch, what you listen to, who you hang out with, dramatically affect our decisions. So some of this crazy is a result of we're paying attention to the wrong things, listening to the wrong things. Yeah. It's like step off the merry-go-round.
Crazy people are in charge. That's the problem. Oh, no.
Well, see, that's the myth, too. They're not in charge. I mean, there's all kinds of nonsense going on in D.C. right now every day.
Well, that's
and
nothing
ask yourself, how does that affect your day-to-day life?
That's nothing
Get
new.
off of the crazy merry-go-round and realize you have a lot to do with you.
Yeah.
A lot more than you realize.
It affected me when I went to the gas pump.
Sure, of course.
It affected me a few other times. But overall, other than that, it didn't really affect me, except to the extent I chose to cram this trashy input into my brain every day and then try to exist in a normal world.
The only time I got nervous, Dave, was when the toilet paper got dicey. That was a little scary. Got up to the old neighborhood grocery store, couldn't find any toilet paper. I officially got nervous. That was the only time. Shook me for about 10 minutes, and then I realized, we'll adjust. And then I got over it. Aren't you glad I shared that with you?
Yeah, and you have to know that if the biggest crisis that you've had in your life was TP,
you're blessed.
You're in pretty good shape, buddy. You're just pretty good shape. I'm just saying. If that's
everybody.
Daniel Boone didn't have TP, and he made it.
Which is why I adjusted after 10 minutes.
Davy Crockett
they figured
had
out
no
a way.
TP, but he figured out a way. Didn't have American Express. He left home without it. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Ken Coleman Ramsey, personality, #1 best-selling author of the book The Proximity Principle, and author of the new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. It is in pre-sale right now. Comes out in a couple of weeks in November. The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love, From Paycheck to Purpose. If you buy it now at Ramsey Solutions while it's in pre-sale, you get the ebook, the audio book, and about $100 worth of odds and ends goodies that we throw in with the book to get you to buy it pre-sale. We bribe you. So come and get you one right now. From Paycheck to Purpose, the Clear Path to Work You Love. It'll be Ken Coleman's second number one. I'm praying and hoping and wishing and maybe. What do you think?
I think it's going to do well. We didn't know when we wrote it a year and a half ago that we were going to come into this type of an environment, and so we think it's going to help a lot of people, and that's what we're praying for, is that it just really strikes a chord and helps people realize there is a clear path. 55%
of American workers struggle with burnout. It's real right now. If you want to change jobs this year, more than half of America's workforce are looking to leave their cruddy jobs so they can find something better. It's called the Great Resignation. But before you do that, you need to ask yourself, what do I like about my current job? What do I not like about my current job? What does my dream job look like? What do I need to do if I want to have my dream job? Don't just leave for more money. That's what Paycheck to Purpose is all about.
That's exactly right. At the end of the day, you want to do work that makes great income, but also tremendous impact to you. That's when you start throwing around phrases like dream job.
Well, and here's the thing. What you think is going to make you happy might fool you.
Absolutely right.
My contention is that a bazillion of these people that are working from home are going to find really quickly that they're lonely. As a matter of fact, we're having people from the technology field, the developers and the creatives and the digital world, the data scientists. That's the type of thing you can do remote pretty easy as far as the technical job goes. But there's zero community in that, and there's zero human touch, and the productivity goes down. But it sounds kind of cool. I'm at home with my kids. I get to see my kids more. I'm at home more. And the truth is, the MIT studies and the other studies are coming out already. It didn't take long for this idea of work from home to melt down, remote work to melt down. And we're going to see a return of those people that made a mistake. They thought they were going to find happiness there, and they didn't. So what the problem is not the work from home is a flawed system. The problem is that you thought that was going to make you happy because you didn't like the people you worked with now.
Right. Well, you fell in love with seeing the kids run around. You think environment's going to make you happy. You just mentioned developers. We get some world-class developers here, and they came from big companies, very impressive resumes, but they come join us because of the contribution that they're making. They see a missional result to their work. So it's not just the paycheck. It's not just the love of the work. It's the results of the work as well. And you've got to be able to see that, because everything wears off. Everything shiny wears off.
So don't take, if you're right now, you're looking for a job, you got your choice.
You really do.
You can just pick. Okay? There's more people looking for jobs than jobs. And so you can, there's more jobs than people looking for jobs. Yes. I'm sorry. So it's a buyer's market. You can just choose. So here's the thing. Don't choose based only on money.
That's right.
That's not going to make you happy. Don't choose based only on environment, like I get to work at home. Mm-hmm. You got to make a choice that's deeper than just those surface things, and get down into the purpose of what you're doing and plug into that. And if you don't do that, the environment change and the money change is not going to fix your life.
No, it won't. And here it is. The very simple depth that Dave's talking about is this: talent, what you do best; passion, work you love; mission, results that matter to you. When all three come into alignment, you're going to love showing up.
That's how it works. William is with us in Greenville, South Carolina. Hi, William. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave and Ken. It's an honor to speak to you. Congratulations on what you are doing for America.
Well, thank you, sir. How can we help today?
Yes. Well, I first heard you long time ago when I lived in Nashville, working at Applebee's. And anyway, I've realized that I didn't have the right size shovel, and so I've worked my whole life until I have the right size shovel, I believe. But and my wife and I've been debt free, but I'm kind of in steps 4, 5, and 6. I've paid for my children's college, but I've arrived at the age of 53 without saving 15% and without paying off my house. And I'm just wondering, to work from 53 to 63, I don't think 15% will get me there. Should I break the money that I'm able to save now 50-50 and do that, or should I focus more on a mutual? I've just never trusted the stock market, but you preach it every day, and I'm just wondering, at 53, what would you do?
Well, we don't have to do anything in baby step 5. 4 is 15% of your income going into retirement, and everything else going towards the house. How much do you owe on your home?
About $500,000.
Okay, and what's your household income?
It fluctuates because I actually had to start the company to get my shovel right, but it's between $800 and $850, $900, depends on the year. But it hadn't always been that way. It's only been that way. I got to
catch my breath here a little second. Did you just say $800,000 a year?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you don't think 15% is going to get you there?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
let's do a little math. Okay.
Okay.
Year 1, you live on $300,000 and you pay off your home.
Well, wait a minute. Let's pay taxes on that 8 to 9. So let's call it 5. Is that fair?
Okay. It takes 2 years, and you live on $250. Wah. Okay.
I'm not.
I'm just giving you a hard time. 55 years old, your house is paid for, and you make $850, and you own the company. So, what is the destiny of this company upon retirement? It will be sold.
It's a garbage company, and
Good.
what we do is it's really worth asset value at the end. There's really not a big pot of gold. The gold comes as you work it.
You can't sell it while it's being worked for this tremendous cash flow?
No, it's not that type of company. I mean, I know what you're talking about. You hear these big companies come in and swoop in and pay,
because most companies that you make $800,000 a year profit on, you could sell the company.
Well, I just know that people that do what I do, they sell. I mean, I read the trade rags. They sell their companies for asset value at the end.
So your trucks.
So I'm really not looking for a big lick. Yeah, trucks and dumpsters and stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well done. Very well done.
Well, thank you.
Love it. Proud of you. In the old book, The Millionaire Next Door, and there's a few other pieces of literature out in the millionaire stuff, that one of the most likely to become very wealthy, by the way, is your trade. It's a dirty little secret, no pun intended. So, okay, here we do. So you're 55 years old, you make $800,000 a year, you don't have a payment in the world, and so how much are we going to bank a year of your $500 after taxes? How much are you going to put in mutual funds? From that point forward, because you're at baby step 7 2 years from now.
Right. So you're saying pay your house off and then save $300,000 or $400,000 a year in mutual funds. So 2 or 3.
Yeah. I'm saying it doesn't matter. You're going to eat, or if you flip it and do it the other way, you're still going to get there. Because you're right. You don't have a shovel. You have a truck. Matter of fact, you have a whole fleet of trucks.
Yeah.
You're just Matt. It's amazing. So your income is your answer. Just lay out a very intentional plan to say, I'm going to invest this much. I'm going to pay this house off. Boom, boom, just like that. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. Not to mention what he could save from his company and buy some other assets that make money. Unbelievable.
Whew, man. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jesus and Susan are with us in San Antonio. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we are.
Awesomeness. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $46,000 in 27 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
Roughly around $60,000.
Okay, cool. What kind of debt was the $46,000?
Oh, everything. Credit cards, student loans, cars, personal loans, couches, family loan, you know.
Mostly irresponsible debt.
and Jesus kind of wraps it all up.
Yep.
I love it. Well done. So you guys were like normal.
Very.
Yeah.
How old are you guys? 32?
I'm 30. How old am I? 36.
I'm 34.
Yeah, I hit it pretty close. Almost like I've done this before. Okay, so and 46, almost 48, almost 4 years ago, something changed, and you start on this Ramsey journey. What happened?
It did. Well, we were living, I wouldn't even say, it barely paycheck to paycheck. You know, I joke that Scotch tape barely held together the ends. It was a lot of credit cards and a lot of praying till we got to the next month.
Yes, it was.
And I had heard of you before, you know, growing up a good Southern Baptist girl. I'd heard of you before, and I knew like the whole envelope thing, which we had tried. But a friend of mine was reading the book, and so finally I read the book and went, oh, that's what you do. And just sick and tired of being sick and tired, so we buckled down and we did it.
We did.
So Jesus, she comes in, she read this book, and she said, we're about to change everything. What'd you say?
I didn't like it at all whatsoever. I am not the kind that likes to wait, but mostly like anything, if somebody asks me, I'm going to say I don't like it, but I respect it because it works, and I'm going to continue to use it.
Ah, that's powerful.
He was so mad he had went to a doctor's appointment and he was brooding about it, and the doctor was ready to put him on like antidepressants, and he was like, no, it's just the budget, I don't like it. And
I'm going to go ahead and grow up and get over it.
Wow.
I don't need drugs, I just got to grow up. I like you, man. This is fun. You guys are great. All right, this is a long track. $46,000. Oh, I said 48 months. It's $46,000 over 27 months. I did it wrong. It was you didn't even correct me. You let me do that. And so you did it in a little over 2 years ago. You started the process, and so what is the secret to getting out of debt? You're pros. You did it.
The budget.
Yes, budget.
Budget, and like Rachel says, it gives you permission to spend, so it takes away that guilt. Like, you know, you have a clothing budget, you can actually go spend that, but then tightening the budget, you know, paying attention to where your money's going is a huge thing, because we just ate out or we bought this or bought that, and it was just whatever, credit cards, yay. And when you pay attention, it really makes a difference.
And once you learn to wait, that's when things really start coming together. For me, it did anyway.
You know, that whole adults devise a plan and follow it, children do what feels good thing.
Hey, so you mentioned that obviously you didn't like to wait, and then Susan brings this home, tells you about it to the point that your doctor almost misdiagnoses you. How long did it take for you to go, okay, I'm going to start waiting and be disciplined? How long did it take effect?
We saw one of Dave Ramsey, we saw him live at a church in Round Rock. And just hearing more of his stories and more of the realities of you know, how it can suck sometimes. It was kind of a turning point for me, and I just had to buckle down.
And that was like 4 or 5 months after I had brought the book home, because I was like, he's nearby, let's go, it's free, it's church service, let's go.
Church is free.
Yeah, you always tweet that right before you preach at a church. I love that.
Well, because I get accused of everything else, so why not? But, yeah, way to go, guys. I'm so proud of y'all. Who were, outside the two of you, who was cheering you on?
It was mostly each other.
To be honest, yes.
And I became obsessive with the podcast, so I listened to it quite a bit, and it kept me motivated, which then I would bring home. So.
And it's funny how it works. We both had little moments of weakness, and when I would get a little weak, she'd cheer me on, and when she would get a little weak, I would cheer her on. It's just the way it works in a marriage.
Yeah, when it's working, that's how it works. You're right. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. We have a shared goal, and we're gonna encourage and hold accountable, and we're gonna lock arms, and we're gonna get there together. It's a shared goal. And that's what makes all the difference in the world. We find very few couples where one of them fights against it that actually make it. They
did.
They very seldom become wealthy if they're fighting against it. So working together is everything.
Yeah, and hey, Susan.
It changed our marriage. Before, I was very resentful of him and his like to spend money and dream of money, of what we can do with it. And I'm like, we can't pay the bills right now. Stop dreaming. But it changed everything.
It did. Your program really helped us. Really helped out our marriage a lot.
Hey, I want to ask you a follow-up on what you said, Jesus. I thought this was really great, coming off of what Dave said as well, that both of you had areas of weakness, but you were strong for each other. That's really important to be able to own that this isn't a perfect process. Do you mind sharing, each of you really quickly for other couples, where were you weak, and then how did you come along and actually encourage each other?
You guys there? I think we lost them.
Yeah.
See what happens when Ken Coleman asks a question.
At first I thought, I stumped him.
There was that time. Oh, wait a minute. They're gone. Are you guys with us? No.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Kelly messed it up. You think Kelly messed it up?
I'm not going to say that because I'm scared of Kelly.
I still see him on the screen, and I can't talk to him, and it's got to be Kelly's fault.
It did. Well, I'm going to go with that.
I'm going with it's Kelly's fault. Oh, I'm getting the death stare. I'm getting the Darth Vader death stare. That's pretty good.
Hey, I'll ask that question of you. I mean, when you and Sharon started it, the very first time that a couple went through this, were you weak in an area? And because I know you like to spend, you tell people that, and Sharon came in, and vice versa. And what was that like for you all?
Our weakness might have been that we were so beat up and beat down that we were just afraid.
Yeah.
That might have been our weakness. And so it was like lost confidence and that kind of a thing. And so she would say, yes, we can still do it. Because I was always the one, yeah, you can do this, yeah, you can do this. And then when I got, one of the things I lost was my confidence, my self-esteem. Was because I lost a company. We lost our income. We got a brand new baby. I can't feed my family. I'm 28 years old. I was crushed. And so one of the things she did was just lift me back up in that regard. Okay, Kelly did her magic, because she's magic, and got Jesus and Susan back on the line maybe. Hey, guys, are you there?
How you doing?
Hi.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. I have no idea what Kelly did to hang up on you, but...
We're sticking with it.
So, hey, Susan, I don't know if you heard the question, but it doesn't matter now because we're out of time. I want to get you to be able to do your debt-free scream. I'm so proud of you. We got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story to be everyday millionaires. You're on your way. Congratulations. And a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away for someone to start their journey. Way to go, you guys. All right, Jesus and Susan, San Antonio, Texas, $46,000 paid off in 27 months, making $66,000 a year. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free.
Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! That's a deal right there, man. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Man. And we actually technically pulled that off all in one segment. Got them back on. That was flawless phone screening for somebody that messed it up.
If Dave doesn't make it back, folks, to the next
break,
I'll be here.
After the break,
we'll still take your calls.
If my body is found in a field south of Nashville,
oh dear,
we'll know what happened. This is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman Ramsey, personality, #1 best-selling author, and author of the brand new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Getting the Career You Love. Hey, it's on sale now at Ramsey Solutions. Be sure you jump in and get you one while you can. Brian is with us in Indianapolis. Hi, Brian. How are you? Well, maybe he's not. I think we're having a little issue here. All right, let's try Ellen in San Antonio. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing great. How about you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So my situation is I took a job back in July, and this was after completing an internship there through my my graduate degree. The woman that was supervising my internship put in a good word for me. The job that I took was not it wasn't directly related to social work as far as like advancing my career, but it was similar to what I was doing. So I decided to make the jump. However, I've realized since taking that job that it's not really hitting the areas that light me up and help me do or make the impact that I'm able to make. And so I started looking for a new job. However, now that I've had two or three successful interviews and the potential to take a new job, this place had a position open up, and my supervisor came to me and basically said that they are looking to really lean on me and my social work abilities in order to fill that position and provide like Medicaid services and connecting our youth with that. So where I'm at right now is I'm trying to figure out if I need to stay because the person that I have a personal connection with who got me in that position is telling me they're going to need me, or if I should continue looking or potentially take one of the jobs that I'm going to have on the table and start doing things that are more like case management and will directly teach me more about the field and advance my career in the long term.
Sure. Well, the answer is you need to make the decision that puts you on the right ladder or moves you up the right ladder. Okay. And so this supervisor's come to you. How specific are we talking about? Are they saying, hey, hang in there for 6 more months, or it's going to be available in 30 days? How specific is this opportunity, or has it been discussed in specific terms?
They came to me yesterday and they told me by the end of the week they wanted to start training me on it, and the position will be posted within the next week or so.
Well, I certainly would walk this out because, it's unlikely you're going to have an interview or two ready to go, or even if you do by the end of this week.
You've already been interviewing, right?
Yes, I've already been interviewing, and I have 2 very likely job offers based on how those interviews went.
Okay, and all 3 of these jobs are what you want to do?
Yes, so the one that would require me to stay at my current place I'm employed, it's probably the least new. Like it has no more advancement opportunities in that direct position, but I would still be working with my internship supervisor and learning some important things about service provision and resource coordination. The other 2 are case management positions, and I would be learning a lot more about working with different
answer. That's the answer. The other 2 give you much more advancement opportunities.
And they're what you want to do. The only reason you're hanging on is this relationship with a supervisor.
Yeah. And the promise.
And you're just too nice.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to feel guilt, by the way. I get this call a lot. They hired me right out of school. Yeah, it's great. But leave the right way. And I think you're more worried. People are more worried about what they're going to say about us when we leave. And the reality is you've got to do what's right for you.
25 years from now, nobody's going to remember the supervisor, including you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so, it's not being selfish or greedy or ungrateful or any of those things. You're not any of those. You don't even have that bone in your body. You're just a sweet person.
Right.
And that's what's troubling you is just a matter of conscience. Yep. And so if the supervisor and the relationship there and the sense of loyalty to them was not in the picture, you'd take one of the other 2 jobs in about 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you need to do then.
The act of moving forward, Ellen, and for everybody listening today, the act of moving forward means we will leave people behind. And we got to get over it. Leave them well. Be classy. Treat them the way that you would want to be treated. Be grateful, but do what's right for you.
So how old are you?
24.
Okay. You got any really great friends from high school that went down the rabbit hole and you didn't?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you left them behind, didn't you?
I did.
That's what Ken's talking about. Every one of us have that from high school, by the way. We've all got someone that we stay in contact with, that we love, and someone that we really thought we were going to be friends for life, and we just went down extremely different paths, and they either left us behind or we left them behind or something, right? And that's true
Right.
when you leave any kind of a thing like that, including a former position. They're leaving you behind, you're leaving them behind, whatever it is. So I think you just go in and you quit with a lot of gratitude. It's been my honor to work here. What you've done for me has meant the world for me. Your appreciation of me has made this a hard decision, and you take the other job.
All right. I really appreciate it.
And congratulations, Ellen. You've earned this. The best is yet to come. Go.
Are you gonna
All right.
do it?
Thank you, guys.
Are you gonna do it?
I really think I am. It's a hard
It
thing
is hard.
just because she's a mentor to me,
It
and
is
so
hard. And you know what?
But-
You know what? If she is, she will continue to be.
And she'll be happy for you. Sad.
yeah,
if she-
I get that feeling.
If she really is. Because I've got friends that have worked here for 10 years and then they left and went and did something else, and I'm sad when they leave, but I also celebrate their successes out there. And there's a whole bunch of them that used to work here that are successful somewhere else now and on their own, started their own businesses, and I'm really sad that they're not here for multiple reasons, but relationally as well. And but I'm a real mentor, and so I really still love them, and I'm really still cheering for them. And with absolutely no economic ties whatsoever. So that's the thing. It is hard, though.
It is.
And isn't it great, though, that she's got that kind of character?
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't. They just go, see ya.
I didn't even know this term,
It's like-
ghosting, until about a year or
Well,
two
it's like
ago.
unfriending someone on Facebook. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
yeah.
about that cold.
Yeah.
Like as if they were really a friend in the first place. No one has 8,000 friends. Come on.
Right.
I got 4.5 million apparently, but I don't not really that friendly with any of them. I like all of you, I'm sure, or most of you, but you know, I don't, you know, it's not your real friend.
No. You know what's going on here, and I hear this on a regular basis, is what we fail to realize is the psychology of what she's talking about. And the psychology of this at a base level is that it's confrontation. Even though you're not going in and griping, you're not going in with an axe to grind, but the very nature of sitting across from somebody, and you got to go, I'm breaking up with you, but
That's
it's
what
not
it is.
you, it's
That's what it
me.
is, yeah.
I think it is. And so it's yucky. Nobody, well, I couldn't say nobody. I think you and I enjoy a good confrontation when it's good.
Yeah,
but most people don't.
But a breakup, I
That's what it
don't
is.
relish in that
Nobody
because
does. Yeah.
There's always a tearing, and so I'm not trying. You know,
No.
I mean, unless it's a violent breakup and it needs to be violent.
Right.
But I mean, most of the time it's just, you know, it's just this thing is a necessary ending.
That's what it is. And
as
it's hard.
Henry Cloud says.
Yeah.
And so, it's. But that's powerful that young lady at 24 years old has that deep sense of loyalty and honor.
question.
That's
No question.
powerful. And by the way, that is a character trait that is rare enough that it gives you a superpower
Certainly does.
when you have it.
And here's the thing on this. You know, we talk about all the time at Ramsey Solutions, control the controllables. In a situation like this where you're leaving somebody and a company, you can only control how you act. So don't fret. I know it's hard, but don't fret over how they act. You can only act classy and grateful, and then move on.
Yeah, you can't decide how they're going to be. That's exactly right. Wow. Ken Coleman, good hour.
Thank you,
was
sir.
this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Claudio is in West Palm Beach, Florida. Hi, Claudio. How are you?
I'm well, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can Ken and I help?
So, Dave, I started your plan a little while ago because my wife and I, when we got married, she had some student debt. And to us, the $6,000 was a lot of money, not knowing how to do it, but we paid it off, and I'm so thankful that she had it because that got us on a budget, that got us thinking financially smart, and it put us in contact with your team, and we followed your principles along the way. We have paid off the debt, and we actually saved up a year emergency fund just because of some things we're seeing in the world going on. But I'm actually to baby step 3B.
Good.
But being so passionate about not being in debt and having this freedom, we truly, as a family, we do not want to get a mortgage. We would like to buy a house in cash, and we're also very patient people, and we're willing to save over the long run. So my question to you, sir, was how can we do that? And is it because we know we shouldn't just have our money sitting in a savings account. So where do we park our money during this time?
How much are you trying to save?
Our goal is to save up $200,000.
Okay. And what's your household income?
$50,000 a year.
And so when do you think you're going to have $200,000?
We would like to do it we're about to have our first baby, so we're not in a rush. We would look to do it in 10 years or possibly 20.
Well, there's a lot of difference in those two. So what you need to do is you need to lay out a specific goal and then start saving an amount that gets you there in a very specific period of time. Any amount of money you're going to leave alone longer than 5 years, you can consider mutual funds for that. So what's your career?
I work as a banquet server, but I work on Palm Beach Island, so it pays really, really well.
I'll bet. And so this is the combined income. Is your wife going to stay home when the baby comes?
Yes, my wife will be staying home when the baby comes. So this is my income.
Okay. Do you have dreams? Do you have things you at least wonder about as it relates to your long-term professional purpose?
Yeah, I work for such a great company, and my dream is to move up in the company, and there has been hints towards that. I only have been working there for not even a year now. But I'm very diligent. I'm very passionate about customer service and having customers have just like a top experience. And it comes noticed because customers will comment on that. So I do believe that there's possibility that I can move up. And with moving up, the pay does go up as well.
There you go.
I've heard.
Yeah. Well, Dave's right. You guys have got to decide what's the realistic goal here to save up to $200,000. You've already got a year's worth of expenses in the bank for your emergency fund. We teach 3 to 6 months. So, if you get serious about this and you go, hey, I want to move up, but I also want to make more money so that I can get in that house sooner, I think that's the path, man. And I think you're such a diligent, sharp young man. I'd get after it. But I think, Dave, 10 years versus 20 years, that's a long time to save for a house, 20 years.
Yeah, I think 10 years. And I also think you got to, you're not going to extrapolate 50,000. We're not going to just say linear no growth in income as a part of our goal setting and our projections. Yeah. We're going to assume some kind of increase in income as you go along.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes back a little and then it comes up, but overall, people generally earn more throughout their careers because they actually get better at it and do move up. Jared is with us. Jared is in Jefferson City, Missouri. Hi, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Well, I work a regular, I can't say 9 to 5 because like I work 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. sometimes, but I'm trying to find time to jump into owning my own automotive company. And it really scares me from going from a strong, steady thing to, something that I have a lot of passion for,
What would be more specific? What's this automotive company? Is it mechanical? What are you doing?
It's going to be mechanical for like engines, transmissions, oil, lube, tires, just all around general maintenance.
Are you doing any of it on the side now?
Yeah. In fact, I'm working with my father-in-law and my brother-in-law too. And while I'm working my regular job, we actually have a building right now, and I got the name of the company through the state, all that stuff already. It's just before I quit my job to go do this full time, and it really terrifies me. And
No, I get it. Well, we're going to simplify this for you because there's no jump involved here. So let's take this out of the equation. There's no jumping. But tell me about the father-in-law or what's going on there. Is this a partnership, or is this your business and they're going to work for you, or they're just helping you get it going? What's that look like?
This is my business that I just got started, and they came in and they decided that they'll do the big work of it, working on the cars, while I make the money, like with this job right now, to get things up and started.
Great. So what do you make right now from your day job? What's your salary?
It's really hard to tell because I work agriculture, so I drive trucks. So I bring in about...
What was your household? What was your income last year for the whole year?
I actually jumped jobs since then.
Okay. What do you think your income's going to be in the coming year for a year?
I'm hoping $40,000.
$40,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were working this side job with your brother-in-law and your father-in-law working for you, and your company was making $80,000, and you quit your day job, that really wouldn't be terrifying.
I know. It's just going from something that's steady.
No. Stop. Try it again. If you made $80,000 in the coming 12 months on your side hustle, and you make $40,000 at your day job, and you quit your day job, there's nothing terrifying about that move.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I agree with you on that.
Okay.
Part.
So it has to do with getting the income up so that you don't jump. You take a step.
That's it.
You want to step out of your old job into the new one. Don't leap. There might not be any water in the pool. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Well, the last 2 years have been kind of cray-cray, haven't they? A lot to worry about out there. A lot of wondering what's going to happen next. Maybe that's how you feel about your money. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you're stretched kind of thin. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. we can actually help you be the third pig and get into the brick house. And so when the big bad wolf blows and huffs and puffs, and then you're okay, right? You just need a plan. And a plan does give you confidence. The way we teach you that plan is a class called Financial Peace University. Almost 10 million people been through this. It'll teach you everything you need to know to save money, get out of debt, become wealthy and outrageously generous. You can stream the lessons on your own, or you can get support by going through the class with other people, or both. And you'll put that plan into practice with the premium version of our Every Dollar budgeting app. By syncing your bank to your budget, you can easily track your spending and see where your money goes. You get all of this with a Ramsey Plus membership. And you don't have to stay exhausted and overwhelmed. You can actually win with money. To start your free trial of Ramsey Plus, text TRIAL to 33789. Text TRIAL to 33789. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Always use the promo code RAMSEY.
Today's question comes from Drew in Indiana. I need advice regarding a potential new job. My current job pays an $85,000 base, over $65,000 in commission, plus I get a company car and full benefits. I have a new opportunity that will pay $160,000 to $175,000 in base with commissions the first year, plus insurance and stock options. It does not offer a company car, which means I'll need to purchase one. I'm really happy at my current company, but the new company is an exciting startup with great potential in a space I'm familiar with. I keep looking at that set monthly income from this new opportunity, and it's making me think more emotionally than strategically. How do I weigh the variables and look objectively at this decision?
Good question.
It's a great question. And Drew's half answered it for himself.
Yeah.
The reality is beyond the variables. Let's start with the facts. This is the good old-fashioned grandma pros and cons list for both opportunities. The new one, the one where you are now, then the variables, and then you take out all of the emotions by just simply saying, well, what on paper positions me best for the desired future I want. That's where you're looking at everything, not just the bump in pay, but 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line. The last step that I would add to this is go get some advice from somebody you really respect who doesn't have any emotion, no dog in this hunt. Show them all that information and get some feedback, and that's going to help cement what I think he'll already know by looking at it as a future opportunity. We're making this decision not on the now, but the next.
Yeah, the way I help that come home in my head is I always say, and I always say to myself as well, okay, let's say that Drew is, let's say he's 32 years old, okay? And I say, okay, Drew, what would the 42-year-old Drew be glad you did? And that makes you think holistically, not just about the income or the structure of the income. Because here's the thing. There is no security.
None.
Your only security, it's a secure job. That's bull. There's no security in a job. You're only as secure as your ability to go create the income in the marketplace. And so straight commission is no scarier than salary, because they'll fire you from a salary job. And straight commission, they just fire you a little bit at a time.
That's right. And this is a startup. So they hope to pay you that, but they're a startup.
Yeah. And so, I mean, straight commission is not scary if you make $300,000 a year.
No.
Straight commission is not scary if you make $200,000 a year. Nothing scary about it, because you really have the true sense of the marketplace that you are dependent upon you getting up, leaving the cave, killing something, and dragging it home. You have to produce. And you're dependent upon that when you're in a commission situation. Salary, moving to the salary it's a false positive on the analysis, because it makes you feel like that's more secure, and it's no more secure than fly the moon. Because let me just tell you, man, if you don't go produce more than you cost, they're going to dump you.
That's right.
All businesses have to have team members that produce or cause someone to produce more than they cost.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't have enough money to pay the payroll. They can't pay you. So you have to you have to add more value than you take out of the equation always, or you're in an insecure position.
Yeah.
So that's the thing here. And so, Drew, as you're doing what Ken suggested, make sure that you don't put too much weight on the supposed security of the salary here.
Yeah. You know, there's another word that's popping up, and I've experienced this with callers. Beyond the security, this also feels like the smart thing to do. Think about it. We as humans go, I've been offered more money. That's the smart thing to do. So the converse is when your heart and your strategy are both telling you, I shouldn't do this, you're going, but everybody else is going to say I'm crazy for not taking the guaranteed more money. So it's not just security. It's also, it feels smart to take the bump in pay.
So if that's the version of smart that's going around out there, let's say don't be smart.
That's right.
Instead, be wise.
There it is. That's exactly right.
Wisdom is the long play.
Yeah.
If smart is the short play.
Yeah, you know, it's strategy.
Play the long game.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Play the long game. Mary is with us. Mary is in Los Angeles. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
We're a little concerned about our situation. My husband and I are retired. We're 65. We receive pension and Social Security. We have a mortgage of probably $400 and maybe $50,000-$60,000 on our home. We have an income after taxes of about $8,370 per month. We do pay a lot out for our bills. We have one major bill that's $28,000. We have a balance of about $10,000 on a car, and that's all our debt.
You don't have any nest egg.
We have a $55,000 in the bank and about $41,000 in the $457 between the two of us.
Okay. And write a check today and pay off your car.
Okay. But we don't want to keep that car.
Then sell that car today.
Okay.
You need to get rid of the debt.
Okay.
Okay, that's the first thing. That's a quick one, easy one, quick win. All right. And so what's your house payment?
$2,400.
Okay.
With taxes and everything.
Okay. All right. A little high, but not a deal breaker. Out of $8,300, you can pay $2,400 out of $8,370, and that leaves you $6,000 a month to live on. You are in Los Angeles, so you have a high cost of living. But you know, once we wrote that check, we've got housing covered, which is your big dog. If you've got no other debts, because we just started paying them off, and you have $6,000 a month to live on, you can't live on that with a budget? I think you can, even in L.A.
But I have the $28,000 bill.
What's that on?
We consolidated a lot of bills, and we did one that were at 0% interest on a credit card.
Okay.
Until late next year.
Okay. So you need to pay that off too.
Okay.
So if you sell the car, what are you going to be driving?
We have one other vehicle.
Okay. So if you sell the car and got rid of that debt and you wrote a check and paid that off, it gets rid of a bunch of your cash, but you got all this stuff hanging over your head. I'm feeling the stress in your voice from these debts.
Yes.
And I want to set you free from those debts, and then you can start to live on a budget, and you can actually save money in this situation. Of course, the other option is you could add income to the equation if you guys chose to have an encore career. You're just 65. I'm 61, and I feel fine. You're going to be all right. Hold on, I'm going to put you guys through Financial Peace University. It's time you learned this stuff. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech.
You could be next. Get started today at betheltech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, best-selling author of the book The Proximity Principle, is my co-host today. His new book is From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Work You Love. It is on sale now. It will actually be shipped and delivered in the first week of November. So if you'd like to go ahead and reserve your copy early, you can do that for $20, and we'll throw in $100 worth of extras if you do that. We'll bribe you to buy it early. Pretty good return on your money. I mean, it's only going to be like 2 weeks. Shut up. So we'll get the book out to you, and you'll get the audio book, the ebook. You'll get all kinds of other bundled items in there. Check it all out at RamseySolutions.com. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, on the debt-free stage, with a question from San Bernardino, California, Justin and Sherry are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. Hi.
Welcome, welcome. How can Ken and I help?
So we're both teachers out in Southern California. And
cool. What do you teach?
I teach economics. We actually use your curriculum.
Oh, thank you.
It's changed the lives of a lot of young people.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And
I teach robotics, grades 7 through 12.
Wow.
Nice.
So I've been teaching for 19 years. She's been teaching for 22 years. And for reasons you already know, we love our lives in California. Our family's there, but I don't think we can stay in California anymore. So we came out here. We have fall break this week, and we came out for just originally when we booked, the Airbnbs and the airplane, it was just for vacation. We're going to the Grand Ole Opry tonight, is why I'm wearing this silly shirt. But
I love it.
She told me not to wear it. But anyways,
it's all good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Hey, man, you're right in. You're gonna fit right in.
Yeah, right. But anyways, so we came out for vacation, and a few things happened right before. Our governor's crazy and stuff, and I think it turned into more like a scouting trip, and so we're here in Nashville area, and then we're going tomorrow to Chattanooga and to check things out in Tennessee. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. The one hang up that we have is we looked at the salaries, and we would lose about $100,000 if we came here
per year.
Per year. Yeah, it's all about seniority in California, not performance, unfortunately. And so that's a hang up. I'm 48, my wife is 46, and we'd be like the new guy at a job, and we're having a little trouble with that. And then both of our folks are there. They're in their early to mid 70s, so I guess I think I know what y'all would say, but
what do you think we would say?
Well, I think you would say go for it, but I don't know. I guess I just wanted your advice and clarity.
We were thinking it's actually like $1 million. We have 10 more years at least till retire, so it's like $1 million decision on income, but happiness might be more important than money.
That's assuming you would not get any raises during that 10 years.
That's right. And that's also assuming you didn't assume in the cost of living adjustment. Plus, we don't have a state income tax here. So I think this is really, you're taking an emotional decision, and you're only applying the mathematics. You need to apply the mathematics, the financial, but you also have to look at the other side of this, and that's why you want to leave and the life you want to live. And so I think you walk through the numbers. So okay, let's talk about this. So do you have any debt? Where are you at financially with your retirement? What's that going to look like?
Well, we followed your plan. We've taught the class 4 times, I believe. We've just paid off our house last May. We have no debt. We haven't had debt for 10 years. We did the debt-free of all of our debt maybe about 10 years ago.
That's
following
amazing.
your plan. And so we have no debt at all. We're just...
How much is your house worth right now?
Our house is worth about $450,000.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then what do you think the salary range is going to be based on what little research you've been able to do here in Tennessee? What's it going to look like for both of you?
About $65,000.
Each?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 130, and you're currently making 230 between the two of you.
Correct. Perfect.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Minus 15%.
For
Income tax.
Right.
State income tax, yeah.
Right. And we've noticed that things are
the food's
cheaper and
things are cheaper. We're finding
gas and everything. I don't know.
Cost of living on non-housing items would be different, but it's not going to be 25% different. It's going to be 10%, 5% here or there. It's not. I mean, it's not like a gallon of gas is different in Tennessee than it is in California. Not much, anyway. Right. The biggest issue would be the tax savings, and the housing differences are dramatic, obviously. So, yeah, it's probably not $1 million decision. It's probably a $500,000 decision. Give or take, maybe cost of living adjusted and tax adjusted, something like that, over a 10-year period of time. And well, you'd be getting raises there, you'd be getting raises here. So we would just call that. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, interesting. That's a lot. And so I think you ask yourself, a book I wrote, the worst selling book I ever did, had a great saying in it. It's called More Than Enough. It was a total flop, but I only sold I think I sold 100,000 copies or something. Compared to my other books, it was a flop.
Yeah, I'd like to point out a public service announcement. That's not a flop.
But anyway, it was a follow-up to one that sold 2 million, so that's what you call a flop. So, but anyway, in that book, this saying, and it's a weird little saying, but it's true. People only change when the pain of same, where we are today, exceeds the pain of change. And so the scale is, it's not a math scale. It's how much pain are you in there. Is it enough to say, this is scary, and there's obviously it's obviously a pay cut. We can call it whatever we want. It's going to be a pay cut, $300,000 to $500,000 over 10 years. Are you in that much pain? And you don't have to answer that today on the camera. That's not fair to you. But that's the heart question. The question your heart has to answer. Once you leave here and you go back home, you go, this is home. This is where my stuff is, and it's a beautiful state. I mean, there's lots of crazy, but it's a beautiful state.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of wonderful people there.
Yes.
And so, and you've had great careers there, and you got great memories there. Your parents are there. You can run back over and see the parents. That's an airline ticket. That doesn't bother me. Okay, we can get back over there if they're in trouble. They need some help. You can get over there. That's true. It's a 3-hour flight. You can be there in no time. Lots of 6 flights a day or whatever, nonstop to LA. It's not a problem. But I
got a quick question.
There's a lot of roots coming out of the ground here.
A lot of roots. I want to play into this math thing a little bit. I just want to wonder together for a moment. What do you each love, if you can give me 2 or 3 words each, what do you love most about your profession? Don't give me environment or anything. I'm talking about the work itself. What do you love most about teaching?
I love seeing the light bulb go on in my students.
Okay.
Yeah. Good answer.
I teach in a 100% free and reduced lunch school. And so you can make a huge difference with kids that have nothing going on for them at all. So being able to see that.
You're moving the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you are.
The reason I asked that was twofold. Okay, number one, I wanted you guys to hear yourself say what really brings you joy and meaning in your work, and you can do that in Tennessee. The second thing I was just curious about is you guys are young enough that you could come to Tennessee and take that same type of work that you love and that result that matters to you and potentially transition into a completely different than public education, but a career where you are training and instructing. Because when I look at teachers, I look at a root word of what they love the most. And the functional thing that they love, passion, what I call passion, work you love, is training or instruction. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But the missional result, which is the result of the work that we all long for, a mission that drives us, for you all, it's influence. So where could you do that in Tennessee that's not in a traditional education environment that wouldn't take you maybe that long to get qualified for? You don't have to answer that. I'm simply giving you that as food for thought.
Okay.
Yeah, you might, do you start a primitive version of that is, do you start a tutoring thing on the side when you get to Tennessee, Texas, or another state? It doesn't have to be here. I mean, we love our state, but the whole point is the conversation is not about Tennessee versus California. The conversation is about how to make a move and how to think through it critically. And that's what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Congratulations, you guys. Proud of you. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Brian is in Spokane, Washington. Hi, Brian. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Ryan, but that's okay. Thanks for taking my call.
Sorry, my bad. I just read Brian on my screen because it was typed there. What's up?
Right. So my question is regarding retirement. I will have a pension when I retire. It's anywhere from $4,900 to $5,500, depending on what I choose for my pension plan. I'm 50 years old. I got 15 years left to work, is what I'm hoping. And my company does a 401k match up to 7%.
Great.
At 0.5%, so it's 3.5% to 7%. You always talk about the Roth IRA, and my company offers a Roth 401k.
Good.
But I don't know if that's the same as it's not the same as the Roth IRA.
It is.
But, okay.
It works exactly the same. It's after-tax dollars going into the account, and it grows 100% tax-free. The difference is yours has a 7% match, so you're doing this. The match portion is not Roth. The portion your company puts in will be traditional. And you'll pay taxes on it and on the growth of it when you get to retirement. So there'll be two segments to your 401k. The taxable segment that was the match and the tax-free segment that was your Roth. And you definitely want to do that at least to the tune of 7% of your income. You may want to do an individual otherwise if you don't have good mutual funds in your 401k. If you've got good mutual funds to select from in your 401k, you can just do it all there.
Okay. Yep. And I think we do that. And I was thinking that, obviously thinking gets us in trouble, but I was thinking that if I'm actually making less money or pulling less money out when I retire, that my taxes would be lower. So I'd be paying less on taxes then versus now. Is that not the case?
Well, the difference is this. The amount that you put in is not the amount we worry about. It's the growth. So let's say you save for 15 years and there's $1 million in that account. I'll just make up a number because there would be probably, okay? Just for round numbers. Okay, of that $1 million, 900,000 of it will be growth. 100,000 will be what you put in. You're either going to be taxed on that 900,000 or not. Not is better than taxed. So I'd rather pay taxes now on the 100,000 and not pay taxes on the 900,000 later.
Okay.
It comes out way better. So you're going to come out way ahead. And so, like light years, like $200,000 per 100,000 or per $1 million ahead. So, definitely do the Roth and definitely we suggest 4 types of mutual funds: growth in income, aggressive growth, and international. That's what I personally put my personal Roth 401k into at my company. And I obviously have those options available for my team as well. And they do, those that are in baby step 4, do that as well. I assume everybody that's doing is baby step 4. I don't know. I don't check. But I think people pretty well follow our stuff around here if they work here. Don't you, Ken?
I think that is it. Yes, the answer is absolutely yes.
All right. Jerry's with us in Saginaw, Michigan. Hi, Jerry.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Great. What's up?
quick question for you. So I've been working for this rental car company for the last 10 years. Recently, one of my stores closed as a district manager, and now I have to drive 2 hours to work each day, leave around 6 in the morning, and get back at 7.
That sucks.
Doesn't give me much time to look for a job where I'm located. The reason I have to stay 2 hours away is I have 7 kids. 2 of them are stepkids, and they are with their dad 1 week and with us the next. We are on baby step 4, 5, and 6, and we do have an emergency fund. Should I leave my job and look for a new job in the area? Because it's kind of a struggle. I've been looking the last couple months for a job.
What kind of store is this again?
What's that?
What kind of store is this again?
It is the best rental car company.
Okay.
You guys have a studio with it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So when you say you've been looking and you can't find something, or you said, well, because of the time in the car, I don't have time to look, you're kind of discounting, at night, and we've got a job economy right now where people are looking for people with just a pulse. What are you looking for? Because I'm curious as to why you're not finding opportunities to at least go for.
So I'm putting resumes in. I'm doing that. I make about $55,000 right now with a car and gas per year. So I'm trying to find something somewhat equal to pay, food for my family and stuff. So I'm trying to find something like that. Every couple of days I'll be searching on Indeed and other stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. So you are looking, you are seeing things. Are you getting interviews?
I'm not getting any interviews.
Okay. So I wrote an entire book on a simple principle called the proximity principle. And it basically is you've got to get around people that are doing the kind of work you want to do. So if you want to stay in the rental car game, well, you've got some relationships. You certainly had them before this office was moved to another area. But you just got to start working relationships. You know far more people than you think you do. And I can tell you know enough people. And you've got to say, hey, listen, I got moved over here. It's too far of a commute because of the family situation. Here's the type of stuff I'm looking for. I've got this talent. I love doing this kind of work. Here's my experience. And you have got to connect. And then an opportunity for you to get an interview is going to pop. And then they say, oh, by the way, put your resume in. You're just kind of playing the job lottery right now. Sending out resumes right now is not an effective way to do this.
It never is an effective.
Ever. We read an article, I shared an article last week on the Ken Coleman Show where they are saying now that 10 million qualified candidates' resumes weren't even seen in the last 12 months.
10 million.
10 million. So, Jerry, I'm not getting on you. I'm actually encouraging you. Because if you start doing good old-fashioned shoe leather out there talking to people, and I know you're driving a lot, but that's 2 hours in the car where you're calling people.
Work the phones all the way over and all the way back.
Absolutely. Your opportunity is just waiting for you, but it's going to come through a relationship.
Yeah, you're going to have some kind of a connection.
Yeah.
And filling out applications is a complete waste of time if you're just doing it blindly and you're just, I'll give you an example, okay? We've got 300 jobs on the board we're trying to hire this year. We will get 23,000 applications for those 300 jobs. You know what the chances are of one of those applications turning into one of those jobs? Almost zero, unless someone does something to get themselves out of that pile. The primary way to get out of the pile is to know somebody inside the building or know somebody that knows somebody inside the building and say, hey, would you ask them to pull mine out of the pile and at least give me a look? And I've even got friends, I own the company, and I've even got friends that call me, hey, so-and-so's daughter has put in an application over here. And I'm like, well, that's great. And I will ping HR and say, so-and-so's daughter's app's in the file. Would you pull it out? I don't tell them to hire her. I never do that. But I say, would y'all at least give her a look, give her an interview?
Yep.
And, the guy that owns the company said to do it, then they'll do it. Or if Sharon calls, it's even more powerful than that. But yeah, you need to have a connection. And listen, go to kencoleman.com, download everything he's got over there on resume templates, on letters to write to get in the door, to try to figure out your connectivity. And I will give you a copy of Ken's first book, The Proximity Principle, which will get you going, because that's exactly what you need here. But you can't use the excuse of I don't have time to interview. You have 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Or no, 4 hours a day.
Yeah. And that's not to mention after the kids are in bed, too. You're emailing everybody you know. You're texting them.
And take some vacation time.
Yes.
If you've got some interviews that have to be done during work hours.
Yeah.
And go sit down with somebody, because this is a time. I mean, you're in a buyer's market, dude.
Yep.
This is you are in the driver's seat more than ever before on getting a new job.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
And the answer to your initial question, should you? Yes.
Yes.
You should. This is going to suck the soul out of your body.
It already
soon.
is.
Yeah,
It sucks the soul out of my body, and I'm not even doing it.
Yeah.
Dadgum, 2 hours a day each direction commuting?
Yeah.
That's like driving to Knoxville and back.
Yeah.
Whew. Just shoot me. Oh, man, I drive 14 minutes, and I'm crying about that. Oh, man. Unbelievable. There you go. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage is actually an indication that you're probably an everyday millionaire. This is The Ramsey Show. It's an everyday millionaire theme hour here on The Ramsey Show. We're going to talk about everyday millionaires, baby step millionaires, and millionaires in general, where they really come from. 1,000 years ago, when I was in college, computers were just starting to be a thing. This is the early 1980s. And I distinctly remember one of our computer professors and one of our marketing professors saying that it is not too far in the future that our problem will not be a lack of information. Our problem will be too much information. That we will have so much data, so many data points, so much information that we will be unable to wade through it all and make sense of it all. Well, that was very prophetic. They had no idea that Facebook was coming on the scene, no idea that Twitter was coming on the scene, no idea that Instagram and et cetera, TikTok, et cetera, was coming on the scene. And so now we have not only too much information, we have way too many people that have the ability to give us information who don't know what they're talking about. Mainly social media, but even the media, because you can just stand up a blog and say, I'm an expert. I'm an expert on finance. I live in my mother's basement, but I'm an expert on finance. And so everybody seems to have an opinion. And then the thing that went with that was this idea that your opinion actually matters. That's an entitlement thing. It's a participation trophy thing. It's a, so let me help you with this. My opinion about something that I know nothing about doesn't matter. I'm a smart guy. I built a large business. I work really hard. But my opinion about hair care products does not matter. I have no knowledge of them. And so for me to express my opinion ferociously about hair care products just shows that I'm an idiot. That's all it would show. It doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. It doesn't mean I don't have value as a human being. It means I have no knowledge of that, so I should keep my freaking trap shut. But in our world today, No one does that because everyone thinks that their opinion matters, even though they have nothing to say about it and have no expertise on it. And so they run around mouthing off all over the internet. And, you know, if it says it on the internet, it must be true. Abraham Lincoln quoted that. So, I mean, this is the kind of stupidity that's out there. And so this leads into this whole idea about money and wealth. So have you heard that wealth inequality is a problem in America? Have you heard that the only way to get rich in America is to inherit your money? To be a professional sports star or a music act or an actor in Hollywood? Have you heard that the only way to build wealth is to hit the lotto because, and they always say it with a whine, the little man can't get ahead. Well, I've watched the little man become wealthy for 30 years, teaching what I teach, doing what I do, and observing people with common sense and dignity going about their business and doing what they're supposed to do, getting out of debt, living on less they make, being on a plan, investing in their 401k, getting their house paid off, and voila, they become a millionaire. We started calling them everyday millionaires. We were seeing them everywhere around us, and none of these people inherited their money, and none of them were famous. And they were devastatingly regular people. Singularly unimpressive. Except for the fact that they did what very few people in this whiny but opinionated culture will actually go do. They got up off their butt, left the cave, killed something, drug it home, and took responsibility for their own lives. Touchdown. Score. And became millionaires. And they do it really quietly, and you run into them, you never know. They're not like fancy dressers. They don't drive Lamborghinis. They're not billionaires. They're millionaires. A millionaire is someone who has $1 million net worth. Your net worth is what you own minus what you owe. Your assets minus your liabilities equals $1 million. You're a millionaire. Well, it doesn't sound like a lot of money. Well, it isn't a lot of money, but it's more money than most people got. And it's not Lamborghini money. And it's not private jet money. But it is, I'm going to live a good life, and I'm not dependent on social insecurity to feed me money. Because if you invest it, you could have an income around $100,000 a year while you sit on your butt. Okay, so that's what $1 million will do for you. So it's worth it. So we started studying millionaires, and then everybody started saying, well, Ramsey, you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't understand. The little man can't get ahead. Socialism is the way. You capitalist pigs, you people have lost your minds, and you just can't do this, and you're ignorant. And I kept going, yeah, but I keep meeting them everywhere. So we actually commissioned a study, the largest study of millionaires ever done, and our research team combined with some outside research resources and did an airtight statistical analysis of the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America. Over 10,000 millionaires studied. And we're going to talk to real millionaires this hour to show you what we found. We didn't set these calls up. We didn't tell anybody what to say. We asked them to call at a certain time or allowed us to call at a certain time, but they're not scripted. We just said, if you have $1 million net worth, we want to talk to you because we want to learn what real millionaires do, not what some broke moron in his mother's basement who has an opinion about socialism thinks. You're just a little broke moron, honey. I hope you grow up and get better. But right now, you're too stupid and you should keep your opinions to yourself because you're misleading people when you say the little man can't get ahead because he does every day. And it makes me angry when you convince some little man that he can't get ahead because you can get ahead. You can beat all the isms, and there's lots of isms out there, and they're very real. There's some ignorant people that will discriminate against you based on the most ridiculous of things. And you have to beat them too. And you have to go around the morons that do that kind of stuff. But it can be done, folks. I meet people of every race, creed, color, national origin, immigrant, born, north, south, fat, skinny, bald, or a beautiful head of hair who have become everyday millionaires starting from nothing. I meet them everywhere. We're going to talk to millionaires this hour only. Not your broke brother-in-law with an opinion. We're going to talk to real ones and see what they say. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Everyday Millionaire theme hour here on the Ramsey Show. We're talking to real millionaires. Matt is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Matt, what is your net worth?
Hey, Dave. About $4 million.
Cool. Give me a little breakdown on that. How's it mixed up between your retirement and real estate and so forth?
Sure. Yeah, we have about 1.5 in mutual funds, maybe 900 in real estate. That's a paid-for house and a piece of recreational property that we paid cash for. And the rest, 1.6 and change, is in retirement accounts, mostly Roth and things like that.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Good. Well done. And how much of this did you inherit?
I didn't inherit any of it, Dave.
Okay. And what is the range of your income, household income, from worst income year to best income year?
Well, the day that I listened to you for the first time, my wife and I made about $50,000 combined.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, that was in 2007, our highest income year now is just over $500.
Whoa! Good for you. What do you do for a living?
She's a sort of a corporate exec in HR, and I'm a consultant. And that came because of one of the lessons that I got in Financial Peace University. The first one talked about money being amoral and how it's okay to go out and live a meaningful life through a meaningful job, but it's also okay to make money doing it. And for some reason, that lesson was just never bestowed upon me. I was always willing to work hard. What do you say? Leave the cave, kill it, and drag it home. But some work pays more than others, and we just.
But there was shame associated with making money before, and that took it away.
For some reason, yeah, it was embedded in there somewhere.
What's your degree in?
My degree's in political science and finance.
Okay. And what was your GPA?
It was in the high threes, 3.6, 3.7.
Got it. Okay, cool. And how much of this debt, how much of this net worth is there because you borrowed money to make money?
Well, in 2008, we called into your show, my wife and I, and did our debt-free screen together with you. And that was the last time we borrowed money. We had credit card debt and student loans. And for the year from when I first started listening to you to when we had our debt-free stream, I actually get emotional thinking about this. We never borrowed again, except for the house, and we paid it off in 4 years.
Yeah. So you didn't become wealthy because of borrowed money?
No, sir.
Quite the opposite. Okay, cool. Well, you did this really quick at 37 and just 13 years. That's pretty incredible. Very, very well done. From the point you said ready, set, go. So what advice do you give to that 22-year-old out there listening, that 28-year-old out there listening?
Yeah, I was 24 when I heard your radio program the first time. And the first is one you've talked about a lot. You just cannot take financial advice from broke people or from most people, because most people are broke. You have to go out and seek out and emulate people who really do it the right way. And they're actually kind of hard to find. As you said in the opening of your show today, it's sort of an unassuming group of people. I would consider us inside that category. And then the second is, if you're fortunate enough to be able to get a high income and have excess money, act for a little while like you don't. And just give yourself permission to save a bunch and give a bunch for a while. And you just don't quite know what could happen from 22 to 28. And it won't happen for everybody, but where it does, it's okay.
What'd you pay for your last pair of jeans?
Ooh, not very much. $25. Although I have to admit that is my sort of a weak spot for me. I do buy sort of like expensive hunting clothes now. So that's my vice.
You got $4 million, dude. It's okay.
I know, right? It's hard to wear off, though. You know, like you do it for a while, it's hard.
You said unassuming, and that's exactly right. Yeah, I'll definitely spend more on a gun than I will a shirt. Hey, man, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Well done. An everyday millionaire. Hey, real millionaires are who we're talking to. Kim is one. She's in Atlanta. Kim, what's your net worth?
Hey, Dave. We got a net worth right now at about $2.4 million.
Cool. Give me a little breakdown on that by category.
So we're a little different than a lot of folks. Most of ours is actually in our retirement savings. We've got about 1.8 sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a house that's about $450,000, and then the rest of it is just in miscellaneous mutual funds and that kind of thing.
So you just loaded up the old 401k.
I did. I really did.
Yeah. How old are you?
My husband and I, so I'm 53. My husband's 52.
And so how much of this 2.4 did you inherit?
Not one dime.
Zero. And your income, worst year of household income to best year of household income?
Probably our worst year was around 80,000, and now we're at about 220 to 230.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
My husband is an aircraft mechanic for a commercial airline, and I work with a pharmaceutical company and sales.
Ah, good. Both good jobs. Good. So what's your degree in?
Yes. I have a microbiology degree.
Okay. And what was your, good use of that?
Yes.
It really was. I mean, you actually know the science. Yeah. So the, your GPA was what?
I think I was around a 3.6 when I graduated.
Cool. All right. So you're 53 years old. You got $2.4 million. You inherited none of it. You mainly due to your 401k. Someone's listening out there. This is the first time they've ever turned on the Ramsey Show. They're riding along in their car and they're going, what have I found here? And the 53-year-old genius who's got $2.4 million tells them they're 25 years old. A, can they do this? And B, if they can, what should they do?
Well, so I have a 22-year-old son, so this is the advice we've given to him, is that while we have a wonderful, nest egg of 2.4, it could easily have been triple that if we had been a lot more careful with our money when we were younger. And just staying out of debt would have made such a difference for us if we had not gotten specifically more me than my husband. I'm the spender, he's the nerd. If I had not been so careless with, I got a good job and I thought I could just out-earn my stupidity, so to speak, and that just didn't really work in the beginning. So I had some pretty poor money habits that thankfully we were able to overcome after a while, but at least the one saving grace that I had was my husband's voice of reason saying, well, if you're not going to save it in a savings account where you're afraid you're going to spend it, at least put it in your 401k. And so we did. We always maxed those out. But really, it's not complicated. It's just simple, just to try to avoid debt and don't spend more than you earn, live below your means. And when we bought our first house, we bought it based on one of our incomes so that if either of us ever lost a job, we wouldn't lose our home. And I think that was a really smart thing that we did too.
Yeah. During this time that you were doing all this, did you guys enjoy vacations? Did you have a life, or did you just live in a cave and collect lint?
So, like I said, I'm the spender. I actually have a very expensive hobby that I was never willing to give up or sacrifice. And
what is
so
that?
That was where a lot of my money went.
What is
I'm an equestrian, so I compete and ride horses.
Yeah, that's nothing cheap about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then our daughter does it as well. So there were two of us doing it. So we did do that. And we always tried to plan at least one vacation a year. And we would save up for that. And we tried to not use debt to do vacations and,
so
and such.
Let's lay a fact out. Let's lay a fact out there, because you're fairly common, fairly typical among millionaires. Fact. When someone says, oh, I need to YOLO, because you never know, right? I need to live now. I wouldn't want to live like that. I might die later. The fact is, you have had a good life. You've not lived in a cave, collect lint, never seen the sunshine, just so you could be a millionaire. You didn't trade your entire existence, a quality existence on the planet, for this money. you went and had a good life and saved some money because you're intentional. That's a fact. So, hey, YOLO, stop your freaking childish whining. Be an adult. Was I unclear? This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're ready to get out there and find a job you love, then you need to hear this. Job hunting can be stressful and time-consuming, but my friends at ZipRecruiter have made the whole job search way easier. ZipRecruiter is rated the #1 job site in the U.S. by G2, and it's free. So how does it work? First, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Then create a free profile and let their technology do the hard work by finding and sending you jobs that are a great fit. And get this, ZipRecruiter pitches your profile to companies whose jobs match your skills and experience. If someone from that company likes your profile, they can personally invite you to apply for the job. So if you're ready for an easier job search, check out ZipRecruiter. Sign up for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Sign up today, absolutely free, and let ZipRecruiter work for you.
It's an everyday millionaire theme hour. We're talking to real millionaires, people who have $1 million net worth or greater, asking them what they did, how they did it. Don't follow the financial advice from broke people. Talk to people that have money if you want to follow a money plan. Kind of a cool idea. Best practices. Kevin is in Orlando, Florida. Hi, Kevin. What's your net worth?
Hey, Dave. We're just over $1 million, about $1,050,000.
Good for you. All right, and break that down for me a little bit. How much? What categories?
Yeah, $650,000 is in 401k, IRA, and the kids' college funds.
Mm-hmm.
We've got about $120,000 between our cars and cash, and then our house is $450,000, but we still have a $140,000 mortgage on it.
Got it. Okay, cool. How old are you?
41.
And
my wife is 40.
Yeah, cool. How much of the $1 million did you inherit?
About $5,000 a few years ago when my grandfather passed away.
So you're not a millionaire because of inheritance, all right? And your range of income, your best working year household income and your worst working year household income?
The range was anywhere from about $40,000 now up at about $200,000.
Cool. What do you do for a living? What do y'all do?
I'm an airline pilot. My wife is a stay-at-home mother.
Cool. And what's your degree in?
Business.
Cool. And what was your GPA?
Mine wasn't great. It was about 3.0 in college. My wife is the brains in the family. She was close to 4.0.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good. Cool. All right. You're 41 years old. You did it. Congratulations. You're not done yet. You got plenty of time to make this 1 million into 10 million pretty easily, as a matter of fact. What do you tell people that are 25 years old? Can they still do this in today's America? And if so, what should they do to do it?
They can absolutely do it. And the first thing is...
I'm sorry, that you cut out. The first thing is what?
Is you need to work hard.
Oh, there's that, yeah.
Work hard, but enjoy life. But the big thing is stay out of debt. I wish we had done that sooner. We only got out of debt, aside from the house, about 4 years ago, once we got serious about following your plan. But the last thing I think that's most important is we grew up Catholic, Christian, and it's important to tithe. I was taught from a young age, and we carry through today, that God will always take care of you. I think that tithing is important. Give 10% of your income back to Him, and your needs will be met. And I think that goes a long way into helping you achieve financial freedom.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can't really mess up being generous. It's a basic principle because it changes you. It makes you into a better, more attractive person. And I mean, generous people are just more attractive than selfish people. I'm just saying.
Yep, I agree.
And it causes life to be better. So well done, very, very, very well done. So are you a TV family or a book reading family?
We watch a little bit of TV. I'm not a huge book reader. I tend to read a lot of technical publications associated with my job in aviation. But my wife is a big reader. She probably reads, I don't know, at least 2, maybe 3 books a month, fiction and nonfiction.
Wow. Okay. Good. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, Kevin, thanks for your time and thanks for sharing your story. Congratulations. You're doing it, man. You're a hero. You took control of your life. You took control of your destiny. That's how life works if you want to do it well. Charlotte's in Cincinnati. Hey, Charlotte, what's your net worth?
Oh, Dave, it's right around $1 million.
Good for you. Give me a little breakdown on that.
Well, I'll tell you, we owe it all to you, Dave, for helping us get out of debt. We have $450,000 in various retirement accounts.
Mm-hmm.
We have about $150,000 in a taxable brokerage account. We have $300K in our house, and we have about $100K in cash.
Good for you. Good for you. Very good. How old are you?
I'm 50, and my husband is 52.
Okay, excellent. How much of this $1 million did you inherit?
We inherited 0.
Okay. And what is the best year of your household income, working income, best year and worst year range?
When we first got married, we made about $25,000,
Mm-hmm.
and recently it's been around $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
But this last year and a half, we've been living off of one salary because of COVID and some medical things, and that was easy to do because we were out of debt. So.
Yeah. And you're millionaire.
It's going back up as of tomorrow. The new job starts.
Oh, good, excellent, very good. Okay, what do you guys do for a living?
My husband is a director of technology,
Mm-hmm.
and I am a teacher.
Excellent. Okay. And so you have a degree in what?
I have a master's degree in education,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband has a bachelor's degree in communication.
Okay. And what was your GPA?
Mine was 3.9,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband likes to tell the kids that they didn't have GPAs back when he went to school. So
I like that. I like that. And there were no pretty girls on campus but your mother. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like this guy. Oh, that's fun. Oh. So how much of this $1 million is there because you borrowed money to create wealth with borrowed money?
I would say very little. We really kind of screwed up a long time before we started your plan 10 years ago. And really everything we borrowed just got us into trouble. So.
Yeah, so you're basically the debt was something holding you back, not propelling you forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. As soon as we started your program, things turned around. So it's all from just hard work and saving.
What advice do you have to the 25-year-old version of you out there?
Well, we are blessed with 2 kids in that age range right now, and we talk a lot about this with them. I'll tell you the advice we gave them. So live below your means. Take debt off the table as an option. Don't even consider it. Don't listen to broke people, and invest as early as you can and be content with what you have.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's really good. You can fill in for me when I'm off the air one day. Great job. Hey, Charlotte, I'm so proud of you guys. Very, very, very well done. Bob is in Indianapolis. Bob, what's your net worth?
1.1 million, sir.
Good for you. And give me a little breakdown on that.
House, roughly $250,000, 401k / savings cash about $450,000, and then our business worth is at least $400,000. Being a little conservative there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. How old are you?
34, and my wife is 32.
Wow. Good for you. So, how much of this 1.1 million did you inherit?
Zero. We inherited a work ethic from our parents.
Inherited hard freaking work. I like it. So household income, the best year and the worst year since you guys have been working?
You know, the crazy thing, we've been married 10 years, and we've never made, like, crazy money. Like, you know, maybe at the beginning, like 50, now maybe close to 75. My wife is kind of a stay-at-home mom / helps with the business. And so...
What kind of business have you got?
Roofing business.
Ah, that's hard work, but also very profitable. Good for you. You got a 4-year degree?
No, sir. We both actually have associate's degrees.
Okay. And so what was your associate's degree in?
Environmental engineering.
Okay. And what was your GPA?
I may have got a 3.0. It may have been just a hair below that.
Okay.
So,
that works. I graduated. Thank you, Lottie. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Good for you, man. Congratulations. Okay. In just a second, you're 34 years old. You're a millionaire. Did you ever think in America today you were going to do that?
You know, no, but I've been following you probably for 11, 12 years, so just following your advice on money, but everything, you know, family, wife, kids, all that kind of just adds up. So.
I am so proud of you, brother. Very, very well done. Congratulations. It's an everyday millionaire theme hour. If you want to read about these folks, you can read about them in the book we have for sale called Everyday Millionaires. Oh, there you go. This is The Ramsey Show. Scripture of the day, Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant, which He swore to your ancestors, as it is today. I never dreamed about success. I worked for it, Estee Lauder said. Who, by the way, started from nothing. So we're talking to real millionaires this hour. People who have a $1 million net worth or greater. It's an everyday millionaire theme hour. A lot of these are baby steps millionaires, meaning they followed the baby steps that we teach in Financial Peace University and became millionaires doing that. Not everybody did that, but we'll talk to you. I don't care. If you won the lottery, I'll talk to you. If your grandpa died and left you $10 million, I'll talk to you. I want to find out where wealth comes from, and I've been studying this anecdotally here on the air with people for years now doing this theme hour. And, of course, we did commission and conduct the largest study of millionaires ever done in North America. And for those of you who question that, the research is airtight. I dare you to do a statistical analysis and find anything wrong with our surveying process or what we did. By the way, we randomly ask people to call in that are millionaires here, and this is what we get. We didn't hand select or rule out anyone to be on the air as long as they have $1 million net worth. Alan is with us. Alan's in Denver, Colorado. Alan, what's your net worth?
$2.3 million.
Good for you. Give me a little breakdown on that by category.
Okay, about 40% of it's in our house, and then in a vacant lot we got a good buy on. About 40% of it's in retirement accounts, and the balance of 20% is in some non-qualified mutual funds and in cash.
Cool. Good for you. Well done. How old are you?
59.
59 years old.
And I've met you several times in various events.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you. Good for you.
Thank you.
How much of this 2.3 did you inherit?
My parents passed away earlier this year, so I got about $250,000 from them. That was enough to push it from about $2 to $2.3 million.
Okay, so you were already a millionaire, so you did not become a millionaire because of an inheritance, but you added to it with that.
Correct. That allowed me to pay my house off.
Oh, very nice. Good. Okay. And your best year household income and worst year household income since you guys have been working?
Since I started working, I was probably about $60,000 during my single working years. Then after getting married, $100,000 for the first half of it, and about $150,000 combined the last 10 years.
Gotcha. What do you do for a living?
Well, now I'm early retired.
Mm-hmm.
I had worked at the telephone company in California for several years.
What'd you do there?
I was various middle management jobs of sales and marketing.
Okay. All right, cool. What's your degree in marketing?
I have an MBA and then a bachelor's in chemistry.
Okay, cool. What was your GPA for the MBA?
3.4.
Good for you. Very cool. All right, so you're 59 years old. There's a 29-year-old listening that has 30 years to get where you are. Can they do it?
Absolutely, they can do it. I would have done it much sooner had I not made a whole bunch of errors.
Me too.
I think we had a lot of carbon copies.
Yeah.
You made it quicker than I did.
Yeah, and lost it quicker. Yeah. So what would you tell people then the secret to getting to a $2.3 million net worth working for the telephone company with an MBA at 59 years old is?
Keep putting money in the 401k even when you're making mistakes outside of your work and basically losing everything you have. So at least you have a seed base there. And if something doesn't seem right, go and ask a second opinion like your parents. They probably would have saved you 10 years of your life.
Yeah.
And not made friends with wrong people.
Yep, that'll do it. That'll bite you big time. Hey, man, thank you for the call, and congratulations. You're a hero. You did it. I am so very proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Well done. Okay, so today, 4 million, 2.4 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1.1, and 2.3 is who we interviewed. 37 years old, 53, 41, 50 years old, 34 years old, 59 years old. None of them were 87. As a matter of fact, none of them were even over 60. That's fairly interesting. A consultant, pharmaceutical sales, airline pilot, a teacher, a technology guy, a roofing company, and a telephone marketing executive. I didn't hear any NBA players, NFL players, no famous actors, no recognizable household names. You have to be a genius to be wealthy in America today. Nope. No 4.0s. One guy married a 4.0. Everybody else was in the threes. 3.4, 3.0, 3.9, 3.0, 3.6, 3.6 GPAs. By the way, that's the average is 3.6 of all the millionaires we studied. No, it's not 2.6. You have to have a level of intelligence and an ability to apply yourself. I got a... I'm still mad about it. I worked 40 to 60 hours a week when I was in college, and I graduated with a 2.97. 3/100ths of a point, and I'm still bitter after all these years. But there you go. I was that close. Too much beer, too much work, not enough study. And I still made it out okay. There's no crooks. None of these people were stealing from people. All the rich people, they just steal from people. They just beat up the little man. You are such a bunch of whiners out there. The wussification of America. It's unbelievable. And it's just not true is the problem. If it was true, all your whining might be better off. But what you're whining is telling people that they can't do something that they can do, and you're stealing hope from your own children and from people you have influence over, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself because you should be full of hope in America today. I know it's cray-cray out there. I know there's a bunch of nutburgers running around in the streets. I understand. I see the stuff too. I know what's going on. But you know what? In spite of all of that, there's more regular good people than nutburgers. The ratio of nutburgers is just about as low as it's always been in civilization. There's always a percentage of cray-cray out there. It's just part of the deal. 2% of the public should be institutionalized. They should be in a rubber room somewhere. But the rest of us are just regular folk. We love our kids. We pet our dogs. We like our spouse. Yes, we actually like our spouse. We love them, but we also like them. Isn't that weird? But I mean, there's nothing on television that indicates that that's a normal thing, but it is typical. These people get up, they go to work, they live on less than they make, they put money in their 401k, and they get their house paid off. Really sexy. Really mysterious. It's not mysterious at all. It's just common sense. But common sense is so rare that when you have it today, it's like having a superpower. It puts you in a completely different stratosphere from the characters that are just living for the weekend. Thank God it's Friday. Oh God, it's Monday. YOLO, you only live once. So be sure you spend it all by Saturday night. You little freaking 4-year-old. You're 4 years old emotionally. You cannot you cannot open a bag of candy without eating the whole bag. Unbelievable. Zero adult discipline. One definition of maturity is the ability to delay pleasure. And we live in a very immature culture. So just being a grown-up puts you way ahead of other people. We live in a culture where adulting is now a verb. This is how rare it is. Acting like an adult is now a verb. It's not a state of being anymore. This is where we live. So can you become a millionaire? Oh, definitely. The bar's fairly low, actually. Can you be successful in this crazy world? You bet. Show up, smile, work hard, be kind, work hard, work while you're at work. Get off your social media account. Somebody's paying you, you little thief. Work. This is how it works, guys. It's not hard. You can do this. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Subscribe or follow today wherever you listen to podcasts.